Hello, you amazing people. It is Riley LH here, and we are back with the orange and white Miata. And that is because we are installing our KBD kit today. Now, I finally pulled the trigger and bought a KBD kit for the Miata. Well, a front bumper and side skirts. Mostly because I'm not a huge fan of the rear bumper, and that cost a lot more. So we're going to be doing a stock rear bumper that we do a bumper cut on, but we don't have that just yet. So we're going to be sticking with the KBD kit. So the KBD kit comes in this box. And not just the front bumper and side skirts all fit in this box because it comes folded up. Now, mine's clearly unfolded, and you gotta do one of two things. You either just gotta put it out in front of the sun and let it heat up and it'll grow back out, or do what I did and just put it in front of my wood stove for a while and it will do the same exact thing. And then you just bend it out and it's good. Now, the KBD kit does not come with any attachments, so we're gonna have to go and, well, not make our own, but steal them off the old front bumper. The stock front bumper has this bracket right here, which is just being held on by a lot of screws. And, well, we're gonna take this off of this bumper and put it on the KBD bumper. And same with the little indicators, they just have these little tabs that the screws go into. We'll take those off as well. So, since that's so simple to do, and my camera's about to die, we're just gonna... Okay, so we got our bumper bracket off, and we went ahead and just grinded it down and painted it again, just to spice it up a little bit, make it look nice, and we went ahead and mounted it. So now we're gonna take the body kit, lift it up, put it where we want it, mark a spot, and drill a hole in the front of the bumper. And just like this, we can figure out where we want our hole. We want it like right here. So we're gonna mark that with a marker real quick. Now we can pull this off and drill it. And, well, now we can actually chuck this on the car. Okay, so clearly we missed a few steps. I don't know if I showed this in the recording, but I put on the bumper bracket after I drilled the hole. I pretty much just took the bracket, pushed it in, and pulled it through the hole, and then I took all the screws and screwed them into the front bumper. And I did put on the weather stripping portion. It's not needed, but it just makes it look nicer. And then I went ahead and prepped the body kit for wrap. I took some borax cleaner with bleach in it, which is just like the powdered toilet / bathroom cleaner. I sprinkled that all over the thing and I wet sanded it. And now that's what I did for the side skirt, and I did not primer it after wet sanding and making the water be able to stick to it properly. The wrap sticks to it, just not crazy well. So with the front bumper and the other side skirt, I primered them. And that made it stick a lot easier and was a lot easier to wrap them. It's not necessarily in the instructions for the KBD body kit, but it worked really well for me. But now we're going to finish installing the body kit because we still got to go and put it on this side. So we're going to mount to the stock tabs from the fender to the front bumper. We're just going to drill a hole and zip tie it. And same for up here. Which honestly, I don't really think I need it up there because I don't have one there and it works fine. But the front bumper's really never coming off because how strong it is, it doesn't need to come off. So to make it a little stiffer, we'll just zip tie it to be safe. Instead of actually going and zip tying this portion, we're going to do a bolt. And then up here we will do a zip tie. It's not necessarily needed, but it will just be extra support. So we just line the two up and we're going to drill a hole straight through. Now we just chuck a bolt through it. Chuck our nut on. And now we just tighten them both. Okay, now that that's not going anywhere, we can actually drill a hole up here. Okay, now we just run a zip tie through that, and our bumper's mounted. Okay, so now it's time to mount our side skirt. So we went ahead and lodged the side skirt in the door jamb so we can mount it all up. And now we're going to take our drill and our rivets, and we're going to drill and rivet it on. So we're going to go ahead and line it up with this body line. Using painter's tape does help to go and line it all up. And then we're just going to go ahead and drill through the KBD kit, and then drill through the body. And be careful when you punch through the metal. You don't want to go and jack up your paint or wrap if it's already painted or wrapped. Now, I would suggest to do this with a riv nut gun instead of rivets, which I will do later down the line, but for now, I'm just going to do rivets because it's all I have on hand. But riv nuts are pretty much just threaded rivets, so I could go and take these on and off very easily, but if I ever have to take these off, I'm just going to drill them out and replace them with riv nuts. So now that we have one end, we can just let that stay and that'll hold it where we want it to, so we can take off all this painter's tape. And we're going to add another right here. Now I can chuck another rivet in there. And now that we have 2 up top, I'm gonna do 1 down here at the bottom. And then we'll chuck a rivet in there. Before we do our front side, we're gonna go ahead and pop these rivets so it holds in place, which will make doing the front a lot easier. Now that we have the rear done, we can move on to the front. Now it's gonna be the same procedure up here up front. Now the one main difference for me is I have a fender cut, which means my fenders roll in. And, well, I don't feel like welding these fenders and bondoing all that, and I really like that look. So we're gonna make it work with the body line. So we wanna make sure that we match this line with our actual side skirt as the same in the rear. Otherwise, you'll see it slope down, and we don't want that, so we're gonna try to get it as even front to rear as possible. So I can see that gap is the same. So we're gonna drill right there. And then we're gonna pop a rivet into it. And then we're gonna massage this down here, get that to fit up. Now with KBD, you're not gonna get 100% perfect fit without really having to mangle it sometimes. Now we're gonna go ahead and drill down here. And pop a rivet in there. So ignore that my camera died whilst I was finishing the side skirt. But pretty much we did the same thing as the back. We just drilled it, we riveted it, and then we also riveted it up here. And we also made a cut right here on the KBD side skirt. And that's so the tire doesn't hit it when we're turning because it would stick out a little bit farther. So we just trimmed it up with the Dremel and it's perfect now. And honestly, I really love the look of the KBD kit with the cut fenders. When it's on the ground with how low it is, it just... But clearly the car has changed a lot, and that's because it's actually been a few months. So I can give my honest review of the KBD kit because in those few months I was daily driving and drifting the car. So I figured out some things that I do and don't like about the KBD kit. For starters, all around, it's a great kit. My favorite thing is probably just how flexible it is. And the KBD kit does look really, really good as well. Now, fitment on the KBD kit isn't 100% perfect, and it is a little bit finicky, so if you're going first drive car, it may not be for you. Unless you want to put some extra time into making it look perfect. But for a drift car that gets beat up a lot, fiberglass pretty much isn't an option without spending a bunch of money constantly repairing it. So KBD is just the move for a drift car and makes it a lot better and a lot nicer. And you can see down here, I'm pretty low and have been scraping the crap out of the front, but it's perfectly fine. If this was a fiberglass kit in the past few months, I would have already cracked this and then have to have repaired it. But things I don't like about the KBD kit. The price isn't perfect, it's a little bit higher, but you are getting a lifetime warranty, and also you are getting the niceness of it being flexible and strong. So realistically, you only have to buy it once, so it's a pick your own battle. You can put the money up front, even though it's a little bit more, but you'll get a better long-term situation. And then also wrapping the KBD kit, that was not easy at all. It took me a hot minute to wrap the front bumper, but that's also because I'm very new to wrapping. And if I was to do it again, I could do it a lot better and a lot simpler, but the material is hard to get things to stick to properly. And really, the last thing that I'm not the biggest fan about is the weight. The KBD kit does weigh a good bit, so it is adding extra weight to the car. But don't worry, it's not an enormous amount of weight compared to the stock stuff, it is just a bit heavier. But otherwise, I really love my KBD stuff and totally would buy from them again for any of my other cars. Because I really, really hate fiberglass front bumpers. When I first got my Subaru and just taking it off the trailer, and it is not low in any way, shape, or form, I already cracked the fiberglass front bumper. Fiberglass is just so easy to break that I just don't like it for front bumpers, especially for a drift car. So if you're low or just abuse your car in any way, shape, or form, KBD is for you. And if you guys have enjoyed or learned anything from this video, like, comment, subscribe, it would mean the absolute world to me. And I hope you guys have a great day. See you guys all next time. Peace out.